What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap, the Smash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. This is, of course, episode 377, and on today's episode, we've got Street Fighter 6 Year 2 DLC. Locked and Loaded City of Wolves has probably the best counter ever created for any fighting game, and Slayer makes Static happy. I'm, of course, your host, or one of your hosts, Crash. In the building with me, I've got, like I said earlier, I've got Static Gorilla as well.
Hello. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, back and ready to talk some Slayer. I know he's excited for that. And of course, we've got the voice of reason for the show. Of course, making sure we stay on track on all things related to it, both on the show and behind the scenes on the show. We've got John in the building.
What's going on?
Not much. We've got a pretty bombastic ass episode because there's a lot of things that have kind of turned up over the past week. But for those, of course, that don't know, this is Double Tap is the podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. For those that are returning listeners, we appreciate you guys giving us an extra 2 quarters to start with another credit this week at the cab. And for those that are new, have been swindled somehow to getting in, or mom and dad dropped you off, you got to go play some games, and you stepped up to the cab, we appreciate you coming by and listening to us. You guys can check out all the chapters, all the specific chapters and topics for this show available on YouTube, Spotify, and any platform that supports podcasting 2.0. Usually before we start the show, well, sometimes, we'll be looking back on the previous episode, and this week actually won't be any different. We got usually a question of the week or poll. We'll talk about the question of the week later on the episode, but we're bringing up the poll real fast. So last week, we asked you guys if you agreed on the JDCR match that went down over at DreamHack. So we covered DreamHack. Shout outs to Mikey for coming through on last week's episode. If you guys want to hear about his DreamHack experience in DreamHack Dallas, go check that out. But we asked about the the kind of the craziness that went down with the winners finals match, where there was unfortunately a controller that went off during a match winning combo. Very big deal. The results are that match got reset completely, like completely. So it involved in JDCR going from the absolute best winning position to now actually losing and unfortunately not qualifying for the Esports World Cup, as that event was literally for that. That was what Top 8 was for. We wanted to ask you guys about the ruling. Were you for it? Were you against it? Just some more context is they went by Tekken World Tour rules, but at the same time, that situation, we've all been in it. Like a lot of us have, especially if you've been competing, if you've been competing, you're aware that like when something like that happens, you kind of leave it up to the players. It was completely taken out their hands. So we asked you guys, were you for it? Were you against it? We've got a tie game here, ladies and gentlemen. It was 50% across the board from all our platforms. Nobody, everyone's on each side of the fence. And I can kind of see why.
Yeah, it's so hard to determine. However, it's so hard to be on the sitting side of that. And like, if I was on the sitting side, like, would it feel even right to know that I'm about to lose and say, no, I want to redo it? Like,
yeah.
At that point, I'm like, yo, the next hit you were gonna win. I can't do that to you. You take it.
But at the same time,
I was about to say, at the same time, with money on the line.
Yeah, you're like, I'm taking that shit. You're like, yes.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'd feel good about it, but a win is a win.
That's what I'm saying.
The rules
dub is a dub.
Are the rules. And I mean, we really dived into it, I think, in the last episode, but you just got to take it for what it is, in my opinion, right? Obviously, half the people will disagree with me, but you got to take it for like what it is, and then make changes so it doesn't happen again. That's how it goes.
It was just an incredible lesson learned. But yeah, half those people went on to qualify the top 8. The other half had to hold that shit, unfortunately. So
yep.
It is what it is. We appreciate everyone that's gotten involved. If you want to get involved, of course, on the polls, you guys can check us out, of course, on doubletap.gg/Discord and all of our other podcast platforms. We do post it up, YouTube, Twitter, all over the place. So make sure to follow at DoubleTapFGC to get involved when we get posted up for the next one this week. Which will happen after this, actually. So we had a bunch of developments over the past week. Summer Games Fest went down with some announcements. We did talk about like we were potentially going to see something, and man, oh man, did we
got
ever.
Power Rangers.
Yeah,
sorry.
Power Rangers.
I had to gush a little bit. Okay, that looks fantastic. Bro, but no, go on. Tell me.
Bro, Doom could not be any more metal. This is not a Doom show, though. This is about fighting games. So let's talk about the kind of the biggest topic right now. We'll get into the others, but let's go to the big one. Bison being not only announced in the year 2 DLC for Street Fighter 6, but we got a gameplay trailer shortly after.
Yeah.
And son, it did not disappoint.
No, it was supposed to be in the morning, and then it apparently got leaked a little overnight.
Yeah,
and they were like,
Taiwan or something like that, like out there, kind of dropped the ball a little early.
However, my dude came in with the Raul Julia portrait horse just flying in. I confirm he's Puerto Rican now. Like, he's not Thai.
He might be. Yeah, we don't know, but like, I think we might be claiming him. Rip to Raul Julia, who, for those that aren't aware, he was the Bison. He was the actor that played Bison in I want to say the only Street Fighter movie that we acknowledge. I don't know if we acknowledge Legend of Chun-Li. That's a whole other conversation.
What about the Machinima one? That's not a movie. It's a series.
That's not like a movie though. That's not a movie.
So.
Right? Semantics. Back to Bison. He's coming out. He's looking. He comes in on a horse. He's looking tethered. He's getting destroyed. Because remember, in Street Fighter 5, he's supposed to be dead again. He's come back multiple times at this point. So it's really kind of like, hey, the sun rises, the sun sets. Bison's probably coming back at some point. But he's coming back with a really interesting, little details within his animations that I kind of was peeping out. For just lore wise off the rip, Psycho Power has traditionally been purple, right? We see in his gameplay throughout this, it's now you're seeing more of this bluish hue to it. That's supposed to be soul power, right? Because for those that don't know the lore, Bison actually has both soul power and psycho power. Psycho power is just light side, dark side type shit from Star Wars. Is basically what's going on here. He's got the dark side, he's got the light side. Rose, another character in the Street Fighter lore, kind of encompasses the soul power, because she was an apprentice to Bison. So seeing those differences, he's seeing he's struggling with certain things. When he wins around, his arm is a little bit out of control. He's not in full control of his power, which is interesting for him. And yeah, we're seeing it in just those little attacks here and there. Some of the new ones, even his Psycho Crusher, kind of changes up in color when he does it, blue, and then you get purple hue. So it's are they trying to show us a story or kind of hinting us to certain things about his story that we're going to eventually get? Just from, like I said, the design alone, just right, the choice of colors is really, really cool. But man, a part of me was hyped, but then I slowly was like, oh fuck, it's Bison. Yeah. Game plan is still there. What do we got kicks? Yeah, we got buttons. Do we have plus frames? Probably. Do we have damage? Yo, his combo routes.
Yeah.
Look the best they've ever been.
Yeah. So I want to touch on, I guess, because I'm gonna eventually get to the bombs, the on-person bombs, because that's where the combo routes sort of, go to.
Yeah, kind of go.
They haven't shown us really much of a walk speed type deal going on.
We saw that drive rush though.
And yes,
that drive sprint.
Yes,
excuse me.
That is legit. There is a tiny bit maybe on his sweep. So he has obviously his slide, but he also has a drop kick sweep. The Karen, as you want to say.
The Karen, bro. The Karen, the Rose. Actually, I think Rose had a similar button like that too. So
exactly. So there's one part at 36 when he's moving back to do a whiff punish sweep. Either way, those are all the normals that they're showing, and there's target combos everywhere, man. He's looking quite all right. I mean, who knows? There'll be maybe slow buttons or not.
That's what I'm assuming.
What's not?
Exactly.
But that drive rush is looking too peak. It scared everybody. I watched people's reactions to see their drive rush reactions to it, and F-Champ to Max to Diaphone, everybody's like, hey, watch out now.
Yo, hold the fuck up. You thought DJ was bad. This is somehow quicker.
Now it did so what part of the video is that in? Is that about minute and change in there? Yeah, so about 123. Yeah, so it looked like he canceled, I guess, crouch medium kick. So he's drive rushing, right? And then by the time he gets to the middle of the screen, he's crouching already and crouch medium kicks. I don't know what makes the move have so much momentum.
I'm not sure either. A part of me thought, I even looked at it a couple times and went yo, did they speed this up? But I was looking at God, I'm okay, they didn't speed up the footage, but I don't know if there's something weird about it, or potentially it happens, and it's happened in the history of Street Fighter with trailers where they've shown something off that actually was technically wrong. Remember Abigail when he dropped, and he was way bigger than what he showed, and it turned out, or even other games like Tekken with Fakuramen. Yeah, like he is way bigger than he actually was in the trailer than he was in actual gameplay. I'm wondering maybe we might be seeing something like that here in the terms of like maybe he's not supposed to be that fast, but we'll have to just find out and when he actually does drop. But all the things are there. It's looking like buttons are strong. He's got, good anti-projectile game too. His Psycho Crusher, his standard one can go through one projectile, while his EX is like just blasting through any of them.
Yep. It makes me think that there is a projectile priority to it.
Yeah.
Rather than just invol to it as well. So I'm thinking it has projectile, basically projectile, what's it called?
Properties.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I can see that.
EX, whatever this palm strike thing is, putting the bomb on you and then causing, I think you can just activate it immediately and cause those ground bounces that they're doing throughout the match.
Yeah, this is definitely a callback to I think was it V-Trigger 2 in Street Fighter 5? It was V-Trigger 2, right? Where he could actually plant that and he had like a timed bomb, and then you would do some dirty ass left-right mix-ups.
It was a timed, or you can snap
or actually,
it was off a command grab. Yeah.
Yes.
So he had a command grab.
Correct.
And then he also had a Psycho Crusher in that V-Trigger. So that V-Trigger was popping. Like, you didn't want to use part one unless you wanted to teleport through people. But which he doesn't have in this, weirdly.
Yes.
However,
as far as we know, but it looks like it's on it.
Somebody was saying that some of the combos might be sort of like how Gil was with the left-right hands, with how Retribution and the Fire Retribution.
Wow, we would bring that.
Yeah.
To kind of let you guys know about that, Gil was the boss character for Street Fighter 3, or Third Strike specifically, right? I don't think was he in the other two as well?
He was in Second Impact.
Second Impact, okay.
You fought
he was the boss character.
It's weird.
He was the boss character in Street Fighter 3, and he was the one that maybe you've seen it. Crazy blonde hair. He has a split down the middle, and he's like blue and red, right? He looks like the ultimate sports fan of like two teams or some shit. But there was an actual mechanism behind that. Like one side was fire and one side was ice, and there would be different properties depending on which side he's actually like hitting you with. I could see that here, him kind of adapting that, because like I said, the colors, like for some reason I feel like there's more to it, but really the only for Bison, the only one, it's only his one arm that's really having looks like it has like some sort of emanating issue, right? We're not really seeing much on the other, but maybe that's also supposed to show that maybe the Psycho Power's on the regular one, and then he's got more of the Soul Power stuff on the other. But if he does, then that makes this character a bit more an advanced character to really get to their potential, right? It's going to be a much more situational character, right? Which once again makes it a little bit, have a little bit more of a learning curve to it for new coming players or anything like that. But it could make a very unique character in different situations depending on which side he is facing, which is like really cool.
Well, it wasn't necessarily the sides, but for me, noticing how at the end of the video, while he's doing the combo to go into his level 3, he does a jump, medium, and Giles already has the bomb set up on him, and then goes into EX Psycho Crusher. EX Psycho Crusher causes an animation that blows up the bomb on him, and then it causes the bounce. He does the EX Stomp, which causes another bounce into another Psycho, into Super. So there's something there
to critical art
that looks like, you've done all the setup you need to. Now you can probably get all the damage you want. Also, that level 3 is the Ultra one from Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it's a combination, because the whole carries you, and then in Street Fighter 4 he stomps afterwards. This time he just grips you and then flips you over, right?
Right. Yes. This place shall become your grave. Stomp.
This place will become your grave.
Or whatever he says in Japanese, which has always been what he says. So I'm gonna have this character in Japanese the whole way. But absolutely. Even though I know it's not his voice actor is actually really older, I think now, but it sounds the same.
He passed, I believe.
He's the one that passed? Okay, right.
Yeah, because he was Cell's Japanese voice actor as well.
So then the second Super is also his Ultra 2.
Ultra 2, exactly, with the stomp and everything. So it has a little bit of anti-fireball power there, right? Tech that you have. But yeah, so he's looking really strong. His stomp is also, the EX stomp is unique because he has this weird double flip hit that he does. But yeah,
Devil's Reverse looks like a problem.
Devil's Reverse, thank you. But also, hey, classic outfit. Can't go wrong with that either, right? Classic dictator, shoulder pads and all. Looks good. But yeah, so Bison, we got the gameplay for. We're just waiting on him because he is actually going to be coming out summer. He's going to be well, summer 2024.
Yes, June 26th is already in the 26th. Description.
Yep. Yeah, it's like I'm saying summer 2024. So June 26th. So actually later this month.
I checked what day it was on, and I'm sorry to say it's not a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday.
Capcom. What a miss, bro. Yeah. What a marketing blunder there. You really couldn't do it. You already gave him the horse. Yeah. You already have him doing the pose. You couldn't complete the meme and make it on a goddamn Tuesday. You know how many people would have just been for it just for that? Yep. Well, now we have to wait till Street Fighter 7 to potentially do this again.
I might even just say, bye Chun, my main, and use Bison.
Wow, really?
Sorry.
Ooh, that's a miss.
Sorry, that's a miss. Was that a stretching? Was that a stretching pun?
That's a miss.
A little bit, a little bit. But what's not a miss is this ad break that we're gonna take. We do have a bunch of other DLC characters to talk about, some controversial from some people, but we'll be back after this to check out more of that DLC character also for year 2 for Street Fighter 6. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Bison is gonna be coming out later this month. We're kind of stoked. He looks like he's going to be a problem. Well, we know he's going to be a problem, but he is not the only one that was announced during the Summer Games Fest last week. So alongside that, we got hit with, in Summer Games Fest, we got hit with a really dope trailer that confused a lot of people, including myself, very early on. We ended up getting Luke and Jamie, playing all this kind of stuff. Cool. And we're seeing someone kind of approach them, blonde, or actually, we didn't see blonde. We just saw blue jeans and a shirt. I was like, oh my God, Cody. That's who I thought first. I thought classic Cody outfit. And as we kind of got closer and closer, this is all animated once again. It's not in the RE engine or anything like that. Doors get busted open and oh shit, who is it? Terry motherfucking Bogard wearing the Fatal Fury hat and all. And I'm confused because once again, we're not in game. They didn't say anything prior. And I was like, okay, are these motherfuckers announcing CVS 3 right now? I went CVS 3 because I was like, okay, Luke, Jamie, they're the new, Luke is supposed to be the new mascot, right? Representing Street Fighter. It's not like you're not seeing Ryu, right? You're seeing Luke. That was always the plan. I was like, oh, and they're bringing Terry. I'm like, oh shit, these are two heads of of these franchises. And then we also and then a fan get thrown. I'm like, oh my God, this could be CVS 3. Holy shit. No, it turns out it wasn't that, because after that we get a quick flash to this this environment out in I don't know where, because I can't tell if it's supposed to be a desert, but it's supposed to be, it's somewhere out in nature. And then we get what I thought, as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh shit, Halle Berry. I'm like, oh no, it's fucking Elena. And I was like, oh, got you, Elena. Then I was like, oh, this is Street Fighter 6. That's crazy. We ended up getting Bison at the end with the TV. But we've got Terry, we've got Mai, and we've got Elena, and of course Bison. They're going to be rounding out the entirety of year 2 for the DLC.
How weird
holy
is it
shit.
How weird is it? They had an extended trailer for the Summer Game Fest with the Bison attacking those things. Inconceivable!
Afterwards.
Terry, I legit thought mobile game? This is the first time that we would ever be getting a guest character in a Street Fighter game outside of Asuka. Asuka? Is it Asuka? Akira, excuse me.
Yeah,
I don't know who Asuka is. Sorry.
But to add to that, it's actually getting a guest character outside of a Capcom IP.
Exactly.
Into Street Fighter.
Because we have Final Fight, whatever.
We've said it before. Capcom has always just, when it comes to Street Fighter, they do crossovers, but they cross over within their own properties. They very rarely, and when it comes to mainstream Street Fighter, they very rarely would tap outside. But when they do, it just becomes another game. Mm-hmm. Marvel vs. Capcom, the CVS series, all the Versus series, right? Yeah. That, they're their own thing. They're not a Street Fighter game.
Exactly.
This is the first time we're getting that, and not only with Terry, but with Mai, which kind of was nuts, because I was like, I could deal with Terry, because Terry's just guest starring everywhere. Fucking fighting EX Layer. Yep. He's in Smash. Yep. He's in
Fall Guys.
He's in, well, Mai's also a costume in that too. Yep. What was that other joint? I know it's kind of internal too, but oh my God, the King of Fighters was all gender bent one. Oh, do you remember what I'm talking about?
All Stars or heroines?
Heroines,
SNK
yeah. SNK heroines. You know, it just continues on. Like he's just everywhere. Yeah. And it's like, okay, he gets pimped out. That's fine. So not surprised, but then adding Maya, I'm like, oh, okay. So we get 2 Fatal Fury characters.
Yeah,
and I'm
not
saying,
one, just 2.
I'm saying Fatal Fury too, because that's where they made their initial intros at. This is where they came from. It wasn't King of Fighters. Yes, they're in King of Fighters 2, but King of Fighters is an overall SNK, you know, all-star game.
People brought up the costumes that they were having, like as if they were CVS2 costumes, and I'm just like, this is just default.
This is default, bro. Default like, yeah, it's just standard. So we ended up getting these 2 characters, and obviously there's no gameplay, there's nothing else to show off of that, but it's like kind of insane that these guys are at it, and it's added some controversy. It's added some controversy because people are like, some people are like, okay, cool with Terry. It was 1, but like 2. It's like y'all wanted to add 2 SNK characters in, and it wasn't even like some of the complaints were like, yo, why not Kyo? Why not Billy? Why not Benimaru? These characters, I think. Well, I gotta double check Benimaru. I don't think Benimaru made their debut in a Fatal Fury game, right? Like no, Benimaru is a KOF. See, these are specifically Fatal Fury characters, so I'm like, that's why maybe the pool's a little smaller there. So they just went with the safety picks. But I mean, hey. If you, Capcom, please listen to me. You have the opportunity to recreate some memorable special intros, especially the one with like the Chun-Li Mai one from like CVS2. Please bring back special intros, even if it's just for these 2 guys. If Mai can just do the whole, like, you know, dressing up as Chun-Li thing to mess with her in the beginning of a match, and then Ken could throw Terry his hat, I'll be fine. I will instant buy. I won't even think twice. It'll just be there, because that's what they did in CVS2. I don't know if you remember that, but that's what Ken did in CVS2 as well.
I'm thinking when Kyo threw the fire in Ryu's face. Yes, okay.
No, that you're thinking Kyo and Ryu on that one. But please, like, these characters there is like iconic art of like Chun and Mai face to face. Like, come on, you gotta give us something, right? Exactly. Yeah, but come on.
Crash, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Let's do it.
I'm okay. But not to be outdone though, we get our first Street Fighter 3 representative in the game, and it's Elena
with a little fanfare. The last foray with Elena, and also she's coming in way in the spring of next year.
Yeah,
the spring. Yeah, spring of next year. It's like, do we want to deal with healing again? Will that be one of our supers? You know.
Yo, let's address this right now.
Okay. Yeah. No,
For those that aren't aware, those aren't initiated, those that don't remember or didn't play Street Fighter 4 or weren't into fighting games then, Elena was the last entry she was in Street Fighter 4. In that game, you had ultras. Ultras were basically your comeback mechanic. You only got to receive ultra as you took damage in the game. So the whole goal is, the closer you get to 25% or 30%, your ultra meter is like full and you get to like maximize your damage. Elena had a different ultra, which was it allows her to heal. She's had that even in Third Strike. Like, yes. It isn't a new thing. The problem in that game with that is you had what was called focus attacks, which are basically, think of it like parries in this game, but you actually took damage. You actually got 1 hit of armor and you took damage, but the damage was recoverable over time. It was white health. It still registered as it would fill up your ultra combo meter, even if you recovered that health anyway. So Elena was very abusive in that game because she could focus attack or focus absorb any of the projectiles, and now all of a sudden she has healed. So you weren't fighting a character that had 100% health. You were fighting a character that sometimes would have 150% health. And could do it multiple times, especially if she's absorbing attacks. You could get like just a level 1 ultra back, and now she has health back, and now she gets an extra 20%, maybe an extra 15%. That shit made matches very long, but it also made a lot of like the early moves, or rather your damage to her, kind of nullified. Like if she was able to get it off, which she could on knockdowns and stuff. So she became a very abused character for that, and then people were really, really like, this was closer towards the end of the game.
Yes.
So it wasn't like the entirety, but people are instantly going like, yo, she's gonna have healing in this game. And it's okay.
I think
she can have healing in this game because it's going to be meter. It's not going to be something she can abusively loop like the ultra combo bar in that game.
I would think it would be her CA. Like make you use the full amount to get
exactly.
it. You know, risk something. Maybe even risk burnout. You know, use all 6 of your things to actually get some healing, and then you're in burnout. Something like that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't just the reason why I was like, oh my gosh, it's Elena. It's just like, of all the characters, you're choosing Elena. Like, okay, Bison, cool. But what about, why can't these 2 guest characters be guest characters and we still get Street Fighter characters anyway?
Okay.
So like, you know, a lot of people want
you're still on the camp of the slots are wasted?
Yeah, kind of. Just a tad bit, yeah. Or if you just want one SNK character, cool. We have the tease of an SNK vs Capcom again.
Yeah.
But there's just like so many other characters that you want to feel, or that you want, like maybe a favorite. Like there's a lot of Final Fight representation in 5. So I don't think many of them, I mean, people might like Lucia, but I don't think she's, you know, gonna show again. But maybe even Poison, who's been in the last 2 games as well. But Dudley or El Fuerte, bring some other Street Fighter 4 representation in. We had Seth in 5. We could get El Fuerte or even, I don't want to fight El Fuerte again.
Stop that noise. We're getting C Viper. Call it a day.
That'd be great too, but you can't get Abel. But what about Fei Long? Fei Long has been, you know, talked about that he's not been in. Who knows? Some DJ said something. I don't know.
So you know, as you can tell, people are divided. Us included, apparently. Present company included. But I'm still stoked about it regardless. It's really cool that Capcom is also doing, you know, a full release of it. They're just showing it to you, not just doing a silhouette and then maybe throughout the year we find out. It's like, no, we know exactly who's coming. Seems to have worked out very well in year 1. And it looks like they're going to do that in year 2. So, which brings us to... Oh, go on.
Terry's my favorite character. So, like, I'm just going to... I use Terry in Smash. And whatever I can, but he's not the best, but still he's like he's
you used him in KOF 15 when you were playing it, right?
A little bit, yeah. It was Kukri, King, and maybe Terry sometimes, but it ended up being Robert, but whatever.
Certified Terry boys over here.
Hey.
Well, that brings us to what we want to ask you guys for the poll this week. Do you think Capcom wasted 2 slots? We want to hear from you guys. You think the 2 SNK slots were just wasted and should have been 2 Street Fighter characters? We're going to have a simple yes or no on there. We just want to hear from you guys. We'll have that posted up once again on our Discord, Twitter, YouTube, all over the place. So make sure to get involved in that. We want to hear from you guys and want to know your thoughts. Year 2 of Street Fighter is on the way, but that does not mean we can't talk about year 1. Capcom decided to post up and kind of celebrate, you know, flex a little bit, but also celebrate year 1 with a slew of stats. And I want to say 2, but more specifically 1 out of the 3 people here loves themselves some stats, loves data, I think the most, and brought it up to and wanted to bring it into the show because like, yo, this is some shit right here.
This is the definition of if you got it, flaunt it, because that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
If you got the numbers, if people are playing your game, let them know.
Let them know.
Yeah. So fighting game of the year, right?
So we got our first anniversary, I don't know, I guess like data like set infograph. There we go, infograph. Posted up actually on the official Street Fighter page, and it's just a slew of really cool data points that they've collected over the year until I think they said April 30th of this year, so not including anything in May or in June. With such great hits, like the amount of total battles played, which is about 2 billion. And they further break it down, 6 million daily battles with 70 battles happening per second. That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking, that's a lot of pressing buttons, mashing buttons, DPs, all that good stuff going on for like a whole year. That's pretty insane. Then we got total playtime, 174 million. I actually did like the graphic on this one. The number of times E Honda can go around the world, around the earth using his OD Sumo headbutt. It's about 43,385 times, like if you take that 174 mil. They didn't say what the calculations were. I'm actually more interested in that. I was like, how did you calculate that? Because I'm thinking frames. I'm thinking, are they going distance? Like, do they know how far distance in like feet or in meters that is in game? Like, you have to know these stats to kind of get that going. They decided not to pertain that. But hey,
all you need to know is that it's true. All you need to know
it's true,
is
though.
true.
It's
very true.
Because
100%.
E Honda would only OD sumo headbutt to go around the world. Never use low or heavy. Top 3 characters. This I thought was awesome. Top 3 characters used in battle. Ken, at first place. Not really a surprise. Yeah, absolutely. Ken is just fucking. This is his game right now. Sorry, Ryu. Not only were you taken over by Luke as the mascot moving forward, but Ken was just outdoing you. But Ryu came back in second place though, with Cammy at third place. I was actually a little more surprised at seeing Cammy in third than the other two, to be perfectly honest.
Definitely not. That first trailer, everybody was on Cammy. So
yeah, I could see that. I could see your thought process. But dude, the gap though between like Ryu and Ken. Ryu's at second place at 171 million times. I'm not even gonna do the whole number, but Ken is at 265 million.
It's the intrigue of his character in this game, and it's also Ken.
It's also Ken. Got you want a little bit more
Ryu.
style.
Yeah,
it's like I'm you, but cooler. It's like Akuma. It's like I do karate. Like Ryu's like I do karate. Akuma's like I do karate, but it's evil. Like that's it. Number of perfect parries, 250 million, all modes combined. So that's like everything. It's not just like competitive matches or just like matches played online. The control types, I like this one. Not only because of the Zangief, Mohawk kind of play on the graphic, but I really wanted to see like how much, the other control styles have affected the play in general. Because remember, the whole idea of modern and dynamic were to kind of, bridge a gap here, right? Or have a different way for people to have entry into the game early on, especially if it's their first fighting game. They can just get used to it, or also trying to see competitively how well it is. I mean, modern making 24.1% of players in all modes combined, with classic taking the majority at 75.6, so 3/4, with dynamic taking 0.3. Not really surprised at the same time, because like some people will play it for sure, but I don't know if players, like, even if you're trying to learn or if you're new to it, you don't want to like you don't want someone guiding you the whole way. Like you want to, pressing a button is fun, but just doing the same one over and over again, like, for me, it just doesn't. I mean, I know for me it doesn't seem appealing. I'm biased there, but I think even the regular person that'll play isn't gonna instantly go to that. They might like modern. It seems like a bit more of a good fit between the two.
Well, I believe dynamic is only local games.
Yes, dynamic is also only local. Yeah, you're not allowed to use it on ranked or anything like that. But they are saying all modes, so I thought it'd be a little bit bigger because of that. Average time to beat World Tour story mode, which, bro, I haven't even fucking done myself. Nope. I have not started it. 32.3 hours long.
Ja, you like that stat?
That was surprising. That was super surprising.
That's a full game.
That's the length of The Last of Us Part 2.
That's a single player experience right there. That in itself is your $60, $70 going into it, just hours for the story. World Tour story. This is including any additional matches or playing in Battle Hub other games and doing all this stuff. You're just getting those hours just to do the story, which is kind of wild. 1.15 million refrigerators destroyed. Yeah, I heard those. The refrigerators tend to be it's an enemy you can fight in World Tour, and it's like really, really stupid. It's really meme-like, so I guess people like it. Top 3 most beloved masters, maxed out their bond level. First being Cammy. Again, just, I mean, when you got it, you got it.
She has a creepy look on her face, like, okay.
She does. Yeah, it's that happy time Cammy face that she has that's like really weird in the face screen. Second though to Chun-Li, and then third evil Chun-Li, aka Jury. I like that they added the jellied eels in here, because 1.8, like the jellied eel, so each master has like an item you can give them that they enjoy that helps max out their bond. Jellied eels is the one that you give to Cammy, which I'm like, ill, first of all, but chick likes them, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna knock her, but yeah, so she ended up taking she's everyone's bae on that one. This one was interesting too. The commentator feature. I've forgotten multiple times.
You missed who's first on the men's side is Ken.
Oh, Ken. Yeah.
Because they noticed the stat was a little, like, hey, guys. The first one was Ken, just in case.
Yeah. But yeah, commentary. The commentary feature was turned on 947 million times. Now, I'm wondering about that number. Because like I thought it was default on.
It is.
Is it not?
It is defaulted on.
So like, are you telling me 900? Like, how do you count that? Because I'm like, do people turn it off and then decided to turn it back on?
I guess
is that what we're doing? Like,
I mean, maybe people kept them on without noticing.
It just means that 947 people didn't turn it off. Is what it means. Like
that's what I think. I think like it just hasn't been, or rather, however many sessions. Because
there were 947 sessions where people didn't turn it off. We'll put it like that.
Because I was like, bro, I couldn't see. Yeah, I remember turning it off and I just like forgot it existed.
And you know what's funny? Like it was in 4. It was in Street Fighter 4. Like I can't stand when I play Marvel 3 and somebody has it on. Oh, I hate it, and I can't turn it off because it's not my system. But in Street Fighter 4 had it. Both Street Fighter 4s.
But I liked the announcer in 4 though. It was cool.
Yeah, but it wasn't too loud either.
Yeah. Most popular master actions, basically, the moves you actually get from your masters. You can get like the kits from each character, and then you can combine them to make a super OP, ridiculous, overpowered character. That's what OP means. That's how overpowered it is. I said it twice.
I think this is when you're out in the open and you can do those moves.
Oh, is that what this one is? So my bad. This is for
you never seen the videos of people just doing like the spinning bird kick down the street?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, I did. You literally have to do it to get certain items, like in buildings, to get across. You're like, you just have to helicopter across, and I'm like, this is so dumb. But like, this is how it would look out in the field,
in Battle Hub and in World Tour. So people just floating from one side of the Battle Hub to the other side. Or rising uppercut.
It's a 2D move for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn the physics. Training time 27.9 million hours. Over 83,000 clubs created. 11.7 billion drive tickets. I forget what drive tickets are even for, but that's a lot of drive tickets. And this was funny. I thought this was fucking really good. Number of players who predicted UMA to win Capcom X or Capcom 10 via the in-game street voter. Because remember, they did vote within the game client itself, like who would end up winning. Out of the millions of people, because it's old millions. Not to say everyone voted, but
that's crazy stuff.
293 people got that right.
Right.
Those 293 people deserve like a specifically earned signature or some sort of tag that says like, yeah, I voted for blah blah, or like I predict, like something to show off. That would have been a great thing to get back.
Like a skin or something like that, and just give it to them in game.
Something like they believed that 293. They believed in the man. They believed, and they should get rewarded for that. Yeah, and then the last one, number of battles started with pedestrians via a master action. In other words, rolling up to somebody and just uppercutting them, spinning bird kicking them in the face. They're just fucking eating ice cream. Then you get fucking headbutted, like, sumo headbutt or whatever. Sometimes accidentally, sometimes very much, most of the time not accidentally.
Just running here, smack.
So all this data, man, they just want, like Josh said earlier, this is just to show off, like, yo, our game is year 1. Look at these metrics. Look at, the amount of time people are spending in the content. I think the biggest thing for me is just look at how well the content was received for it. Because this isn't just, the biggest thing to bring out of this isn't just FGC numbers. This isn't just because when we say FGC, we're talking like the competitive scene more than anything else. Because the consumer base, the regular market is always bigger, right? We're a minority here. We don't have fucking, I don't know. I don't know if we did not. We would only do 947 million times.
The FGC is not battling 6 million times in Street Fighter alone daily. Maybe across the entire FGC daily. Exactly. Like, you're not gonna pull that number. Sorry.
I don't even know if we got 6 million people. Like, I don't even know if we got that. Like that, but regardless, like, these are just numbers to show like how the game's just been received at a mass scale. And they're flaunting it, so that means they see it as success. I mean, I think it's a success. I think the game has done very well on the year 1. But it just goes to show like what, the care that they took to kind of really create that content, especially things like the World Tour. That keep getting added to, right? Akuma announced and added. Now there's additional stages and areas for him to go to and master abilities. And now it'll happen with Bison, right? Like, as well. It's just going to keep getting added to. So it's going to keep giving content for those players, for those billions of battles to keep going up, to go to trillions or whatever. By the time year 10 comes around.
Yeah, I just think like it even says a bit more than that, because like I doubt like this number is like super front loaded, right? Like when it came out last year, you just had all these people playing and then they kind of dropped off. Like it really feels like there's a lot of consistency here. Like I'm sure their launch numbers are much greater than the rest of the year, but you know, like you said, you know, these aren't what we would consider FGC numbers, which is like the competitive community. But I almost think like, you know, maybe that term FGC needs to be expanded a bit, you know, because this could be somebody's like favorite game. This could be the game that somebody comes home and plays, you know,
and rocks out.
I have two theories. One is I believe this could also be because the game didn't get patched heavily. You know, a lot of the casuals are just like, hey, my move still works. My button still works. My combo still worked. Or just the, I don't know, I something along those lines, because now your stuff still can work. If you're not into all the patch notes and all the what happened of my game, whatever, I can still do those moves.
Yeah, you don't come back and then suddenly like, why is this thing I was doing before not working? So
that's what I feel like is happening to Tekken right now, because Tekken just got a big patch. Nobody's gonna read that Bible right now, but you're gonna read it from your character. But again, I'm not playing it because I heard now Jun is like bottom 5 and she was top 5 before. So I don't know how much they've changed on my character. But you could be in the middle of a tournament and then something's not the same, or you can be in the middle of ranked, something's not the same.
Or you can be in the middle of a tournament and your character gets pulled out of your character is fucking
was that
gone.
About last week? Was that
No. But we'll fill you guys in.
Yeah.
We'll fill you guys in on that after we take this quick ad break, because we got. I guess we're not gonna shit on anything, but we're gonna bring up what happened to Iron Giant in Multiverses after this. But we got City of Wolves character to talk about, and of course Slayer, of course, to round things out. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So we kind of left off with something we weren't intending to actually bring up, but you know what? Fuck it. It is a hilarious situation to be in.
It's very quick.
And it actually is honestly it's a warning. It's really a big wake up call that if you just didn't think about, could really happen and be effective. Yeah. But you know, take it with a grain of salt. So Multiverse has been out. We've been covering it, of course. The game's, you know, doing its thing. One of the things that have gone down, right? Tournaments are being played on it. Awesome. At one point in tournament, unfortunately I don't have the tweet in front of me, so I can't call out the actual player, but we'll just leave it as is. One player's character, which was Iron Giant, middle of a set, was done playing a set with their first match, and they were getting ready to run back for the second match, right? Because I think it was 2 out of 3. In start.gg, there's a chat app that you can actually talk DM with, you know, your opponent right away, right? So you can be in contact, like, hey, I'll be in this lobby, or, you know, say something happens, you can, you know, admins can look at it. It's just a way to communicate, right? Well, when they were getting ready to start the second match, I'm not sure if an update went through in the meantime. I think it did, because I think I remember in the chat logs they said like, oh, my game had to update real fast. Like, yeah, mine too. The Iron Giant main goes like, hey, do you see Iron Giant on your side? Because I don't. and his opponent's like, yeah, I don't see him either. And it's like the just a couple of statements afterwards, like, I gotta get another character. It's like the character Iron Giant, who's kind of right now been like, it's just been buggy and isn't working properly in certain aspects. Literally just got pulled from the game. Like, just disabled on the servers, disabled on this, you know, live service game, and there was nothing any of these players could do about that. Nothing no TO could do about that. And it was just a crazy situation to be in. Mind you, granted, this is very much early in the game, but doesn't stop this from happening again in the future, where it's a live service game. Once again, you don't have control over that. They could literally kill half the cast because half the cast is found to have this exploit and they pull it. There ain't shit you could do about it. If a tournament is going on, you are literally shit out of luck. Will they, obviously for big higher stakes tournaments, or, you know, kind of scheduled tournaments that maybe they have more investment in, will they avoid that? More than likely, yes. But still, the fact that locals or even small tournaments can be affected like this is fucking crazy.
So the comments of the tweet are like, you go, I stay, Superman.
Dude. Oh my God. I was like, at first I was like, no way. Then I just like couldn't help but laugh at that situation. Imagine like just rolling up to your opponent and like, oh, my character's not there. Like imagine that, like you go up to a setup and it's like, yeah, my character's not here. Not a DLC character, it's just like the base character just got knocked out.
Apparently he still won though.
Oh, damn, what a flex.
Iron Giant isn't even my characters at all. Okay, can you see him? I don't either. Wow, they disabled my man. I'm not sure. That's weird. Haha, never noticed it. They killed him. I need to switch characters. So messed up.
Jeez. All right, so yeah, sorry, long story longer. That happened mid-tournament, which is just crazy. But it's a warning, yeah, like it's a live service game like this. This is something that could ultimately happen at any point, right? It is, you know, being contained and being controlled. Like, so when they decide they want to address something, it could happen just like that. And it's like, you have to go along with it. There's nothing that really can be done, which is kind of wild outside of playing it locally, but you know, we'll see how that ends up. All right, so let's get back into it. City of Wolves, not to be outdone by Street Fighter 6, also had some announcements. Two announcements, two new characters to the game, but one new completely original character that actually got added that was kind of in part by the original Fatal Fury 2 game, that it was like one of the concept designs. So it's Vox Reaper.
Yes.
Was shown off, and this is a street assassin, from what I understand. It's like a street assassin that actually apparently tried to assassinate Billy Kane or something, and then he didn't and got, I don't know, like taken into his education or something like that, in training or some junk.
And apparently he is the successor to Grant.
Yes, exactly.
The masked dude.
He's the one that trained him. At least that's all the information we've gotten on him. But yeah, I was trying to look at it, like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, my information is a little, you know, limited when it comes to SNK characters, but I was like, I don't recognize this guy at all. So yeah, it turns out he's a completely original character for this game. But he looks good though. He's got an interesting skill set. I think, funny enough, there's some content creators out there that have already gotten access and been able to kind of post up a couple of combos and just routes with them. The guy is expressive as hell when it comes to, like, you know, how fierce he is. Like, it is kind of savage, man. Even just his idle animation.
Yeah, he looks very fun. I like his Rugal kicks, and he's got that punch. Well, it's not exactly the same type of Vegeta punches we've seen in like KOF 15, but he basically has a Mappa punch or a pile bunker as level 3.
And on top of that, what is it? The general's not who's Leona's dad again? Leona's general, or commanding officer. Hyder, like, he kind of has like the kick, like the flash kick of his, but he has it like a Rekka. I was thinking more Hyder because it's the way it looked. I was like, because Hyder does it with his leg while Leona does it with, you know, the crescent thing with her arm instead. So he looks dope. He was a new character. He fits the bill, bro. Like, this game looks so pretty.
Yeah, no,
this game is just pretty. It looks so
frame
good.
1 buying.
Oh, frame 1? Is it frame 1? Okay. Frame one. You know what else is frame 1? The best counter in the fucking game. So B Jenet or B Jenny has also been.
What does the B stand for?
It's her first name. It's
I thought it was Brett. What? Oh, okay.
Might as well be. Might as fucking well be. So B Jenny has been announced, and she's gonna be part of the cast, which is awesome. I mean, she's already lively now in KOF 15. Clearly played. Has already been like top tier and also been nerfed. But damn, they did not hold back on this one in every aspect of that statement. We're talking the design, we're talking the features, we're talking also just really overall her kit looks really, really good. She's hitting, you know, all the right marks, very similar to how she did play in KOF 15 or in previous games, obviously, but with some, you know, a couple of quick changes here and there. But man, she has caught the attention of Twitter. She has caught the attention of many a subreddit, and she caught the attention of many people while they were watching, because that damn counter of hers got people tripping.
Yeah, that trailer is kind of frame 1. Yes.
I just want to see. If I could just see YouTube analytics, I gotta double check to see if I can find where. I don't know if we could see it on other videos, but you know, normally if you post up a video on YouTube, you can show like the most watched part.
Yes.
There's no way in hell, because I can't see it right now. There's no way in hell that 26 seconds? Am I thinking of right now? No, at 30. There's no way in hell 30 seconds in that's not the most watched part. Like, absolutely.
Sure.
Jenet back shots is definitely the #1 spot in that YouTube video.
There was immediately like memes of Waylon Smithers from The Simpsons, like crying.
Crying in the corner. It's too good. The memes are great. I love it when the internet goes in on it. But no, man, she looks good as well. Like I said, even the game, bro. Like I've said it already. The game looks amazing, but this just keeps on pushing it. It looks really good. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, I might be frame one. We'll just have to see.
Yeah,
but
this also, of course, with the SNK announcements of the 2 characters in Street Fighter, it opens up the door of, are we getting any guest characters here?
Exactly. That's, bro, just give us a CVS 3 already. That's all. You don't even have to worry about it. But yeah, exactly. That was the other part, I wanted to kind of linger on earlier was, hey, they're really focusing on Fatal Fury because this is a Fatal Fury game that's coming out. So they want to keep that marketing up. They want to keep bringing, but is it a chance that, we'll get a crossover maybe the other way around? Right. Would be cool. But we'll just have to wait and see as to what SNK and Capcom are looking to team up on. So with that actually is going to do it for the announcements, kind of like the developments. And it's going to lead us into, of course, our... before we do that, question of the week, actually. That's something I meant to ask earlier, but now that we actually finished up talking City of Wolves, we wanted to ask you guys, what guest character or series character would you like in Street Fighter 6? If you could take away, right? If say we could take Mai or Terry or whatever, or just add any character from any series that you would love to have as a guest character in Street Fighter 6, who would that be? Doesn't have to be Capcom related. It could be really anywhere. It could be a Tekken character coming back, right? So we could be the closest we get to a Street Fighter X Tekken kind of feel. It could be from from Arxis maybe. Could Soul be in that game? Probably not. But maybe the most the most. Maybe Leo. Maybe I don't know. Well, let's keep Leo's craziness to just one game, really. But it could be any character from any game. We want to hear from you guys. Who do you think might be a good fit for Street Fighter 6? Let us know. We'll be posting up this question once again on all our platforms, on social media as well, and of course on our Discord. So get involved on that. doubletap.gg/Discord. Join in. Come say what's up, and come get involved. So speaking of Guilty Gear, it is that time. We've been waiting. I've been eagerly waiting. He's been out now for what? A little over 2 weeks, or is it like 2 weeks?
That's sure.
Something like that. It's all a blur. It's all a dandy. It's all a dandy blur. Yeah. But Slayer's been out. He has been causing mayhem. We've gotten chance to sit down, go online, play some ranked, go online, play each other, and see what the Dandy Vampire has brought to the game, or how we feel about him. And we wanted to, we were going to talk about it last week, but Static wasn't here. Static's the main guy I really want to hear from on this, because he's got a history with the character, and it seems like the character is doing something that no other character has been able to do, which is make Static play strive. Yeah. So what is the full one, man? Slayer off the rip. How are we feeling about him?
Okay, hear me out.
Take all the notes out.
He's like really good. Or like, he doesn't need all this damage, but I'm glad it's there. I'm not gonna complain. Never.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. So there's some things like he's obviously like a character. He doesn't have a dash. He doesn't have all of the normal things that you're used to with all of the most of the cast in the game. Mm-hmm. He has like a different slide. He has different ranges. He has a little bit of even difficulty to certain things. But here's the problem: none of that matters because he hits really hard. So
he makes it up because you just die.
Right. Yeah. For like fast close slash, I think like it's apparently it's 7 frame startup, but you can't even tell. Like if that's 7 frames, then
it feels fast.
It feels frame 1. It's just instant. It's a good meaty tool. It hits above. It OTGs into the dash mix-ups as well, or right into pile bunker loops, which isn't easy to do, but you don't really need them until you're at a certain level, basically, until you can perfect them. His dandy Mappa Punch, super Mappa Punch. I'm gonna call it Mappa Punch because he's saying it so fast. It's called Mappa Hunch, but I think it's just called Mop Punch.
I think I thought the original. I thought it was supposed to be called Mach Punch.
Sure, I don't know, but I'm gonna just say Mop Punch because you can skip the H like you do.
All I gotta say is like, I hope you were blocking.
Yeah,
that's all I say before I do that. Is like, I hope you didn't press a button.
Yeah, you know, like exactly. So it's a fast moving, but it's weird. It's fast, but somewhat of a slow startup. Like you can be safe jumped. It's not like the screen freeze and then hits. Dandy step is really good, but it can be interrupted. So if you're too close with the punch dandy, you go behind the character, which can be tricky because crouch S is a really good normal that will pull in so that you can go on the other side of the character, and then you hit H, which is I think is called arrive late or arrive early, something like that. It's like Helter Skelter in the previous game where he can jump up and moves forward, so he can even go on the other side of the character. Granted, this is a lot of time where people might be mashing anyway, so dandy step can be interrupted pretty easily, but again, even that move, whatever that is, it can be grabbed, but there's a particular timing. So you're probably going to get somebody hit with the counter hit.
Yeah.
And then if the command grab is on, you can get a universal counter hit. Anyway.
He's mixed. He's a mixed monster as we expected. He has it's still early, but like there's already the inklings of it. When you're in like the flow, you're like, oh my God, this is about to be. Yeah. I have to maybe guess 2 to 3 times in order to survive what's about to happen.
You might even need to guess twice because if you guess the third, like by the third time, you're about to get grabbed anyway.
Oh, no. I mean, by like, by 3 times, like all you need is 2 hits.
Yes,
but like the third time, it's like, it could happen that fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're not ready and if they read, bro, it's like done. It's done.
Because even the first combo can hit you on the wall. A Pow Bunker does a wall splat instantly, and then you can either knock them down if you want to have that timing, or if you just want to hit them, because it's a little bit of a timing issue after you do Pow Bunker, because that move has some hella recovery. So
he has a lot of the tools. What about like his faults though? Because you say he's got a big issue to him though.
Yes, I feel like he loses to exactly to big bodies. I feel like he loses to like Potemkin,
like your Pots and your Gold Lewises.
Yeah, even a Bedman. The Bedman can keep away pretty hard. And even though Bedman has a big body, like you can do like even like maybe a loop on him, like a fuzzy, but it's still kind of hard because your only way in is dashing or Mop Punch. But at the same time, Mop Punch is in the way of the fireball for Bedman. And if Bedman's going to be just doing that and then the green light doing the fireball, green light, he's always going to have a fireball stocked. So it's really hard to fight. Testament is also hard to fight, even though the fireballs are still active. But it's hard to fight because once you're in, they teleport out. So it's like, what am I going to do? And then if you the worst part about Slayer is that he has to be close for him to be a little bit more viable. Now, Crouch K is a 6-frame move. But again, it's not that good. And then Crouch HS is a low. It's a huge low, but it's also hard to. It's hard to. Well, granted, it's hard to see and hard to block. I get it. But if they're already crouching, like the only thing you can go into is like a canceled Mob Punch or even a Dandy. But once he gets predictable, he kind of loses.
Yeah, that's the biggest fault there for sure.
And then into the grappler's part, like he has to be close to like that close slash is just so good. And yes, it does work from a bit farther away, but if you're already that close to Gold Lewis and or to Potemkin, you're about to get command grabbed or 8-way run, whatever that's called. 8-way
behemoth typhoon from every angle. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So he has some glaring issues because he has to, for him to be most effective, he has to be put in probably some of the most dangerous areas with those characters. So it's like it becomes kind of an even playing field, I think, in my eyes anyway. But overall though, when it comes to the character, I think Slayer is probably the guiltiest gear character in Stride because of how nutty he can be and because of things like the damage. Like no other character is insta killing anybody. Like I mean literally insta killing. Like there isn't no like, oh, everybody can get one touch. So I'm like, yeah, anybody can get one touch, but like he literally just needs to get one touch on certain characters for them to die. No additional risk or anything. Like Chip will blow up. Asuka will blow up. Yes. If you have 100 tension and you get hit with what is it? Something Horizon. I forget what the hell it's called.
But it's sure.
Yeah, something Horizon. Last Horizon or something. But yeah, like it's kind of nuts. So I was like, damn, like they let that through QA. They let that shit go. They said, yo, sir, do you realize this kills this character in one hit? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And this one too? Yeah, green light that shit. Put it into live? Put that shit into live. Like, god damn, like they let that shit rock. I have my own theories. I think they're trying to test the waters to see of like if instant kills could be a thing. Like down the line. I don't see anything in the future, like right now, but I want to say that they're probably looking at it and going like, how are people going to react with the ability of like, if you need 100 meter, like full tension, maybe need to be at a certain, same prerequisites, right? It has to be last round, right? For it to happen, full meter, and you have to land a hit or something like that. Like, are people really, are they ready or not for it? And I think this could be an early indicator of that, but the reason I bring it up is because, hey, ArcSys is clearly not a stranger to just adding game mechanics to their game in a season patch, right? And just flipping the game on its head, for better and for worse, right? Like White Wall Assault is still being, still around the way it is, but it is what it is.
I mean, there are obviously the strengths outlast the weaknesses. I mean, you can go nuts. You can just turn your brain off and pow bunk, wherever you want, because there's 4 ways it can go: high, low, weird angle, or smack you in the face, whatever. So I think he's very good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's brought a spark back into me, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's enough to that's the other thing. Like when certain characters get brought in, certain kits or certain ways to play get brought in, when they're done right, they're able to kind of engage the audience, engage the player, especially the competitive scene as well, to have someone like yourself who has tried to really, really enjoy the game, right? That you're a fan first, right? You're a fan of Guilty Gear first, and it's like you want to play it because you're a fan, but also because you like the game. But it's like sometimes it just takes the right character to finally come out for you to actually be, to feel the game correctly, right?
Yeah.
And Slayer seems to be that way, which is really awesome. I'm really stoked. I've had a chance to play with him. He's fun. Like, I'm not focusing on him, but he is just fun to pick up. He is just a fun ass character. So even if you're new to Strive, like, he is a fun character to get into. He's simple enough that you can understand, but then once you start wanting to get spicy, like, it's there. Yeah. It's there.
Yeah, and yes, nope, that's it. That's everything. Command grabs, potential comeback factor. It's all there. You got beat up a lot. Just gold burst, like that one chip got hit the other day.
Yeah, gold burst. Yeah,
yikes.
That was rough. I love the clips that have come out of it, but yeah, Slayer's in. He's closing out for season 3. Now all we have to look forward to now is season 4 and whatever ArcSys is thinking of bringing to the table with that. But I think Slayer has been a great addition. He's been long asked for. He's been long, voted for, and it's still early. He's still, he's being played by a bunch of different players right now, pro players, and on all different kinds of levels to get figured out. But I think overall the consensus is the character is ignorant, but that's also fun as hell. So we're here for it. We'll see how long that lasts, and we'll see if he has a reign in any kind of tournament level in the future. But that is gonna be it for us on this week, guys. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my awesome hosts here. Go peep them out on Twitter, of course. You can check out Static Gorilla at Static Gorilla on all social media platforms, as well as on Twitch, where he'll be playing TNS or maybe even potentially some more Guilty Gear tournaments now.
Trying to get to Celestial. I get there, but I get kicked out. So
yeah, that's always the grind. And not to be outshined, he has been here this whole time. He's just been chilling. He was done after the data talk earlier, but make sure to go follow Josh Stradamus, of course, on Twitter, and of course on Blue Stacks.
Was it Blue Sky?
It's definitely Blue Sky. I mean, at some point, You just gotta.
At some point one day, I'm going to write it. I will write it, I swear. And I literally tried really hard not to do that. You can follow me at #VS, of course, on social media platforms. But you guys can, of course, make sure to follow the show here at DoubleTapFGC on all social media platforms. Make sure to come say what's up to us there. You guys can check us out, of course, on YouTube as well, on Twitter. Come, follow us. Like, retweets, all help a whole lot as well for the show. If there is a particular article or something like that out there that you guys want us to check out, make sure to hit us up. Make sure to tag us. We always look at all the replies, all the tags we get put into. Actually, on top of that, I do want to give a quick shout out to someone on Reddit. We do post up on Reddit as well. We post up on multiple different subreddits. Shout outs to Afgard. I posted up on Fight Us on the previous episode, and he posted up, gave us a comment. Love your podcast. What I like the most is that you talk about every game, not just Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 like everyone else. Keep up the good work. Yo, appreciate you, homie. Thank you for the kind words. Thanks for upvoting the post and listening to the show. Much appreciated. Thank you for the kind words. Once again, though, like I said, you guys can support liking, retweeting. The tweets help a whole lot out, all the post out. We will have, of course, our community question and the polls on those social media platforms. Get involved, interact there. We're going to get all this data. We want to hear from you guys, what you think about it. Once again, what guest characters you have in Street Fighter 6, and as well as the poll this week, which is what do you think? If you think that Capcom had wasted 2 DLC slots, make sure to go get involved there. You can also get involved on our Discord, which is doubletap.gg/Discord. Come say what's up to our awesome community there. Get engaged, post up articles, everything you want us to get involved with. We want to check it out. We want to hear from you guys. We want to see you guys, kind of grow our awesome community alongside there. We do appreciate everyone that has and everyone that will in the future. And you guys can support the show as well by commentating and reviewing the show on your favorite podcast platform of choice. It helps a whole lot out, lets us know what we're doing right, so we keep on doing it, and what we're doing wrong, we can go back into the training mode, work on that matchup, and come back stronger than ever. Make sure to share the show, like, retweets, all that good stuff. Cross-sharing posts, Reddit, and all that also helps a whole lot out. We do appreciate everyone that's been doing it. But that's gonna be it for this week. I've been Crash, that's been Static, that's been Ja. We'll have a new episode next week for you guys. Bison's on the horizon, so we got plenty to get into. So until then, see you guys later. Peace.